Welcome to the Twitter space hosted by Fringe Finance. My name is Konstantin Shirokov, and I'm here with Eric Wilkinson, and I'm the marketing director of Fringe Finance. I will briefly describe what Fringe Finance is doing for our listeners outside of the Fringe community. Fringe is a lending, borrowing, decentralized protocol currently available on Ethereum network and launched in June of this year. The main goal of Fringe is to provide lending markets utility for long-tail assets, including the ones that currently lack that opportunity in the market. At the moment, Fringe has integrated 27 assets that are available as collateral with a combined debt limit of more than 135 million United States dollars. On the lending side, currently, we only have USDC as the available assets, but it will change soon with the launch of the multi-lending feature. So Fringe Finance users will be able to earn interest not only on USDC, but a couple of other tokens. One of the assets available on Fringe as the collateral with a 53% LVR is a loan token. That means that Tokenlon holders can maximize their capital efficiency by taking loans on our platform. And I'm super excited to tell you that I will be joined today for a conversation with a great guest, Jia, the marketing manager, and Tommy, who is the community manager at Tokenlon. How are you today, guys?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Hi everyone, I'm Jia, the marketing lead for Tokenlon. So basically, we are a decentralized exchange and a payment settlement protocol that was actually incubated by the I'm Token wallet. So we're actually a 3-0 DEX. We actually celebrated our 3rd year anniversary just this year, in July. And we're actually going to hit $25 billion in total accumulated trade volume. So yeah, very happy to be here and very happy to hear that Lon is actually, there's more utility now, and it's actually can be used as a collateral for people to make loans on Fringe Finance. So yeah, thanks for having me here.
Thanks for coming, Tommy. Your word.
Yeah, I was just saying hi. Nice to finally hear you.
To start with, I will start with the most obvious question. Can you please describe what is Tokenlon and how it actually works?
Yeah, sure. So as I said, Tokenlon is basically first and foremost, we are a DEX. So what we do is, basically we facilitate swaps on both the Ethereum network and also the Arbitrum network. So I think everyone here definitely knows about the recent FTX saga, and I think like the silver lining is probably that a lot of people are starting to preach, not your keys, not your crypto, and I think that's definitely a silver lining for the industry, and it's something that we definitely preach a lot. And when you trade on Tokenlon at the DEX, you don't need to, we don't hold your funds at all. You just have to trade directly from your wallet, and then yeah, that's how it's like. So I think maybe two other things that we actually provide in terms of our DEX experience compared to other DEXs. Firstly, we provide one of the better, I believe, one of the better quotes, price quotes for actually the main tokens such as our ETH and USDT trade pair, using an RFQ request for quotation model. I think like you can actually test it out yourself. Let's say if you want to swap USDT for ETH or vice versa, you can just put in the amount that you want to swap, and I believe our rates are definitely competitive as compared to the other DEXs. And secondly, another thing that stands out for us is in terms of we do have a 99% transaction success rate. So basically, what this means is, you place an order on Tokenlon, it will definitely go through, right, if you have enough gas fees. Whereas I think even for the more prominent DEXs, they probably only hit like 80%, or maybe at best maybe 90% of transaction success rate. So some of the users, when their transactions do not go through, they'll basically waste their gas fees at times. So yeah, how we do this is basically quite a few mechanics. Basically, we are quite selective in the tokens that we list. So we always check for the market depth and the liquidity of of the token, and of course like run some kind of background checks on the project to minimize any unexpected risk. And also we actually allow users to trade, without having any ETH, which I think some DEXs probably don't allow you to do that. So that is also another differentiating factor between us and other as a decentralized exchange. So yeah, that is a very small nutshell about Tokenlon.
Tommy, do we want to add something to that?
I think Jen has already pretty much covered that pretty well. So yeah, there's not much to add from my side.
Okay, sure. You have briefly touched that, Jia, but with regards to the things happening in the market, how do you think this can and already affect in Tokenlon and the world of decentralized exchanges as a whole?
Yeah, you mean the FTX recent FTX event, right?
Yeah, I mean FTX and the surrounding events.
Got it. So yeah, I think for us actually, in terms of the trade volumes, we actually saw it triple during the FTX event. I think people are really scared trading on centralized exchanges. So I mean, firstly, they are making the withdrawals, and secondly, after they make the withdrawals, they are probably I think they're probably more assured wanting to trade on the decentralized exchange. So yeah, I think it's a silver lining for us, but of course it's a bad overall, and definitely in the long term, it definitely set the industry back a few years, and it's definitely not a good thing for anyone involved in the space, especially for decentralized exchanges. So I think moving forward from here, people will definitely be more open to using decentralized exchanges. But I think that being said, there's definitely still a pretty big gap between CeFi and DeFi, which in the first place led to more people using CeFi in the first place, right? So I think firstly, one will definitely be in terms of the user experience. So ensuring, I mean, to be able to bridge the gap between DeFi and CeFi, one thing we need to focus on is the user experience. It comes from the very basic stuff, like in terms of providing a good liquidity, providing a very good user interface that's very intuitive for people to trade, and also providing I guess really good things like support for the user, education for the user, so that it's easier to onboard them, and they also can easily understand the back end of what happens in decentralized platforms. So I think once this gap is kind of breached, then we will eventually see probably decentralized exchanges and DeFi platforms becoming mainstream, and new users, when they come to crypto, hopefully, in the next 5 to 10 years, they will actually onboard. The first platform they'll onboard in are actually, the DeFi platforms. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on what I think will happen moving forward from this saga.
Wow, tripling the trading volume, it's fantastic. Were you expecting that, and were you ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, we were actually ready. So, like previously, whenever they had, any kind of bad news or expectations that centralized exchanges will not do well, whether it's regulation or hacks, we typically see actually an increase in volume for our decentralized exchange. So yeah, I think it's something that we kind of expected at the back of our head. But of course, that being said, I think like it's probably just for the short term. I think this FTX saga definitely doesn't do anyone any good, whether it's DeFi platforms or the other centralized exchanges.
Thank you for the answer. I guess Eric has the question for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going back about just to confirm, it is really nice to see the increased volumes on the DEX and what you said before about, yeah, like the users who are kind of used to the centralized exchanges and stuff, to kind of teach them how to come across to the DEXs is the way forward, or teach them more about DeFi and how it works, so we don't have to rely so heavily on centralized things. So yeah, I think that was a great input from you. I just had a question regarding, so like Tokenlon is a DEX, and yeah, it's important to attract liquidity, have large pools, because that helps with the slippage. And like, what do you guys, like, given the highly competitive nature of the DEX landscape, what do you do to attract enough liquidity to like balance out to have this attractive slippage on Tokenlon?
Yeah, sure. So I think besides being a DEX, we actually aggregate volume from different big pools such as SushiSwap and Uniswap. So for us, like how you mentioned in terms of the slippage, right? How we do it is basically using our RFQ model. So how it works is basically when you, for example, let's say you want to trade I don't know 100 ETH, right? For USDT, for example. So when you actually type in 100 USDT 100 ETH in on our DEX, then after that we will basically fetch the pricing. Basically request for quotation, right? So fetch the pricing from two pools. So the AMM pool, where we basically is what I mentioned in terms of the aggregating of the liquidity pool from Uniswap and SushiSwap. We also have our own proactive PMMs, proactive market makers. So we actually work with different market makers, and whenever a user asks for a quote, we will actually send it to them, and then we will get them to so-called compete to provide the best quotes for that particular order for the user. And that's currently what happens back end. But then you will basically pull out the best pricing from either the AMM pool or the PMM pool, and then after that we will show it to the user in the front end. And that actually ensures that we are able to meet any orders of any sizes and any depth, to ensure that there's basically no slippage of any orders. And I think to reiterate the point that I mentioned just now, when we actually list any tokens, we are actually quite selective in terms of listing these tokens. So we always look out for things like the market depth and the liquidity of these tokens. So that definitely plays another part in ensuring that we do not have any slippage of orders. And I think lastly, to try to attract more liquidity providers, we are also trying to open up the DEX to become more of an more of an open network. But I think that is more of in the future plan. So shall not delve into that a lot.
Yeah, thanks for your answer. That's quite interesting that you have that process listing the new tokens. I was preparing for our Twitter space, and I was browsing Tokenlon website before the podcast, and I have noticed that you have a division between an instant swap and a limit order. I believe all of our audience understands how the market and limit orders work on centralized exchanges. But how does the limit order works in DeFi? Are the funds blocked through the smart contract? Can you please describe that?
Yeah, sure. Funds are blocked through the smart contract. Sorry, what do you actually mean by that? If I can just clarify.
Yeah, well, how the limit orders works in DeFi? Can you please describe the process on technical side and on the user perspective?
Sure. So, like what you mentioned, we actually have an instant swap and a limit order. So I think firstly, these two features are actually available on different networks. So the limit order, which you mentioned just now, is actually available on the Arbitrum network. And for now, we are actually intending to add Ethereum. We're actually intending to add, the Ethereum network to our limit order as well. So, people that Ethereum users can basically place limit orders on Tokenlon very soon. And whereas the swap function is right now only available on the Ethereum network. So because right now they are they are basically listed on different networks, right? So basically the tokens that are available to trade are also different as well. So how you mentioned, you asked how does a limit order work? I think it works quite pretty much like a centralized exchange as well. You basically put in the price and the token that you want to trade at which price to trade at, and then basically once it hits the price, thereafter your limit order will actually go through. So what is special about our limit order is that for now users can actually place cancel limit orders, and also any limit orders that go through, we do not users will not incur any fees. So right now it's basically zero fees if you trade on our limit order. So that is a bit different from the other decentralized exchanges, because other decentralized exchanges, when you place or you actually cancel your limit order, there's actually a fee involved, and of course there's actually a fee involved. So in that sense, our experience is a bit similar to centralized exchanges, whereby you can just place and cancel it very very seamlessly your limit orders for free. So basically, that is the how our limit order works, and I think another thing to take note of in terms of trading or using our limit order is that you have to wrap your ETH to WETH to make a trade, because right now we are only making limit order available for the Arbitrum network. So I hope I answered your question correctly.
Yeah. Now I understand better how it works, and I love how capital efficient limit orders on Tokenlon are. What I also have discovered is that Tokenlon is natively integrated into IAM token wallet. Can you please describe the nature of your partnership with that project?
Yeah, sure. So basically, Tokenlon was actually incubated by IAM Token Wallet back in 2019. Then so IAM Token has actually been around for 6 years plus. So that is basically kind of like industry veteran or industry giant in the crypto space. So for us, it's 3 years, and as both projects actually continued expanding, we actually started becoming more independent of each other. So our brands are actually quite independent right now. So while we actually do share quite a close relationship, our teams actually work separately. We actually have separate teams working on both the project, and for us as well, moving forward, we are actually looking for more partnerships with more wallets, actually, to be more natively integrated with other wallets in the space. And currently our DApp is actually listed on I guess the more prominent wallets that we have, such as Coinbase wallet and MetaMask wallet. So we are definitely looking to be integrated into more such wallet ecosystems. And IAM Token is just so happen to be the one that's more natively that we are more natively integrated into. Because they were the ones that incubated the Tokenlon project. So I think in short, that is kind of like the relationship we are looking for. And right now we are definitely looking for our brands are more independent, and we're looking to integrate with other wallets as well. So if anyone on the space or you guys know of any other wallets that are looking to integrate the apps, especially Dexes, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, sure. I want to use my position as a host to spill some beans about what is going on Fringe side. And we have a lot of discussions and when questions around the launch of the Fringe staking program, which is designed to incentivize the token holders, lenders, and liquidity providers. So I want to add some fuel here, and I believe that we'll disclose some information about that this month. And what about Tokenlon? Do you support staking programs? How does it work if it is? And what requirements do users need to stake loan tokens?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. So we definitely do have a staking program. Basically, the requirement is just that you have to hold the LON token, and then yeah, basically you can stake it. So how it works is basically I think this is kind of like the beauty of DeFi, right? Everything is on chain, and you can kind of see how the rewards are actually where they actually come from. Whereas like centralized exchanges, like a lot of them, I think we have seen in recent times they promise very high staking rewards, but then you don't exactly know where the funds are. So when there's a bank run, then a lot of users have difficulties withdrawing their tokens. But our staking mechanism is basically more sustainable, I would say. It basically comes from the trade fees that's accumulated on Tokenlon. So out of all the fees that's accumulated on Tokenlon, 60% of it are actually distributed, right, to people that stake their LON. Of course, in proportion to the amount of LON that they stake, right? So if you stake more LON, then of course you will receive a bigger pie out of the staking reward pool. So how it works is that when a buyback is triggered, the trade. So basically, whenever Tokenlon receives a trade fee, the trade fees will be accumulated in the pool, and whenever a buyback is actually triggered, so 60% of these LON tokens will actually move to the stakers. So yeah, that is basically it. And once you stake LON, you will receive the XLON token to verify that you are a staker. And when you actually hold XLON, you also still hold the right to vote on any of the LON Tokenlon incentive programs. So you actually still have the same right as a LON holder. And what's even better is that you can of course, in the past, we have actually run things like double staking, whereas so you basically stake your LON, and then after that you will get the LON rewards from our trade fees, as I mentioned, and you also can stake your X LON as well. So you can kind of like receive double rewards. So that was something that we did in the past. Yeah. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is how our staking program is run.
I believe
So
we're
nice.
on the same page here regarding the real yield. And I guess Eric has another question.
Besides staking, does what other kind of uses are there for LON?
So besides I mean, we definitely want to add more, utility, and I think, I guess the fringe, the recent integration of fringe finance as a collateral definitely helps. But besides the staking as well, like one thing is that LON holders actually get fee discounts for trading on Tokenlon. So we actually have a different tier in terms of the fee discount. So the more LON you actually hold, the higher the discount you will get on your trading fees when trading on Tokenlon. So there are 10 different tiers, and you can actually receive up to a 66% discount on your trading fees. So what this means is that for us, if you don't hold any LON, then okay, we will just charge you a 0.3% trading fee. Whereas like if you hold a lot of LON tokens, and you are at the highest tier of the discount rate, after that you will only be charged 0.1% of trading fees. And that's definitely very substantial, especially if you trade, like, for example, like you're a whale and you trade like, millions, or you make $1 million trades in one trade. So it's quite a substantial amount of discount being given. And of course, besides that, one thing that I would like to, while we're on the topic of fees, one point that I also like to share with everyone as well is that we actually only charge 0.04% trade fee for trades involving two stable coins, right? So whether it's like USDC against USDT or against DAI, we actually only charge 0.04%. So yeah, for anyone that's looking to trade between stablecoins for whatever reason, I think Tokenlon can definitely offer competitive trade fees for you.
Nice to hear that. Did you consider when you were developing your product, and at the moment too, how do you take the community feedback and requests during the that process? How do you take new ideas from the community, and who is the ideal consumer for Tokenlon?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned, we have actually completed close to $25 billion in accumulated trade volume since our launch, and we have served around I guess 200,000 users so far, and this definitely would not have been possible if we did not take user feedback and community feedback very seriously. So yeah, definitely the features of a Tokenlon today was definitely done with the user feedback in mind. But of course, that being said, sometimes you definitely need to find a balance, right, between what user wants and what actually user needs. So if I'm a user, I will definitely ask for a lot of features that I think are useful, right, for the product that I'm using. But as to whether these are actually features that I actually need, or whether it's actually the feature that will benefit the protocol the most. I think for us, we have always had to basically try to make this distinction when taking into account user feedback. And in terms of the ideal customer for our product, I think one pretty unique user group that we do have are actually whales. So if you actually go to Twitter and you search, for this Twitter account, Tokenlon whale, it's basically kind of like a whale bot, but actually for huge trades that it actually reports huge trades that are executed on Tokenlon. So like we are talking about 500,000 trades that are 500,000 and above. We will actually report it, and yeah, so the whales actually do drive quite a big amount of our trade volume. And I think that's also because we actually do provide quite competitive rates as well. I think like for example, if you are trading, like $1 million for Ethereum, right, to USDT, you definitely need to have very good pricing, or at least the quotes offered by the DEX needs to be very close to the market rate. And I think that's something that we do offer quite competitively. And I think the second thing is also the 99% the transaction volume success rate. So I think for whales, they don't mind paying maybe a bit of higher gas fees, and they just want to make sure that their trades, most of their trades actually, almost all of their trades go through, right? And I think that is basically what we offer them. So yeah, I think coincidentally that is why I would say whales are actually form quite a significant part of our user group.
Yeah, thank you for that information. I'm taking this moment to highlight that Fringe Finance is rolling out the forum for the community feedback. So our community can offer ideas for product development, partnerships, user interface change, etc. And the best ideas will be implemented. At Fringe Finance, we really are careful about the security issues. We have been double audited by the two respected audit companies, and we do everything to keep the funds of our users safe. And we have seen that a lot of the problems with the industry are human related, not smart contracts related, but the latter one still exists, and smart contracts are prone to failure. So many projects fell victim to it, costing user funds and killing the projects. Can you tell us about the audits that you have gone through, and what was the process of choice of the auditors? Because that's quite important.
Yeah, sure. So I'm not very technical guy, so I probably can't share a lot of details with you. But I think what I can share is that our smart contracts are actually audited and tested by third-party audit firms. So actually, for example, one security firm is actually PackShield. That's actually tested and verified that Tokenlon is secure. So I think besides, I think what you say is very important, right? Like security. If let's say a project is hacked, that usually spells that usually means the death of that project, right? Because I think in crypto, trust or users' trust in your project is very important, right? And that's really the bread and butter or the fuel that runs every crypto project. So for us, right, firstly, we actually don't release as that many new features. I would say we actually prioritize the features that we want to release, and then we launch it. So I think that's one layer of how we ensure that risk is maintained. And I think secondly, when actually a new feature is released, it actually undergoes quite a lot of security stress test before it actually goes live. So we actually do a lot of internal testing first, and we open it up for beta testing to beta users, our more loyal community members. And then after that, only once we are extremely confident that is very safe, then we will actually make the launch. So yeah, for sure, we never, sacrifice security for speed, and we want to assure users that, Tokenlon will always provide you a safe, decentralized, and a more seamless trading experience.
Yeah, speaking about features that you're rolling out, we are very interested to know about your roadmap. What is coming up in the short term and long term that is important for your community and the broader audience to know about?
Yeah, sure. So I think for us, since we are a decentralized exchange, decentralization is definitely a core value for us, and will be a very key part of our roadmap. So what decentralization means, right? Of course, we break down this very big term, means permissionless, right? Anyone can access without needing anybody's permission. Trustless, so it's based on smart contracts, it's transparent and it's secure. You don't have to have a third party you don't have to trust a third party, you don't have to trust Tokenlon, basically, right? So to speak, if you want to trade a Tokenlon. And third is an anti-censorship, right? So
yeah, I believe that
is
the space is about, not trusting the Tokenlon and trusting personally you, but trusting the smart contract and trusting the network. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree with you. Yeah. And also anti-censorship, like what I mentioned. So I think that is that's basically, the few components of decentralization, if I were to break down this very big term. And that being said, of course, like we need to also ensure like that the platform is robust, right? It's 24/7 uninterrupted. Nothing can stop it, that there's no single point of failure. So as I mentioned, our future roadmap will actually, take decentralization very seriously, and it will be at the core of everything that we do. So we actually, one thing that we want to do is actually to build an open network. So basically, what it means is that we want to open up our market making to the community. We want to open up, becoming a relayer to our community, so anyone can be a relayer, anyone can be a market maker on Tokenlon. That's what our future goal is, and also becoming a DAO as well in terms of governance. So changing, making the economic parameters and mechanisms more open, making the decision making process more open, and so that such that the proposals are actually community led. So the community can actually submit the proposals, and then it's up to the community to vote on any of the proposals that is being put up, and also I think that's basically the decentralization part, and I think in terms of the robustness, ensuring the competitiveness of Tokenlon, we are actually looking to improve our quotation and our price strategies even more. So firstly, how we do this is we want to aggregate even more liquidity providers, and we actually want to implement this thing called a smart routing algorithm, whereby orders are actually broken down, and then the pricing is actually routed via this algorithm, so that each order, especially big orders, will get even more competitive pricing and prices that are closer to the market rate. So yeah, other things, of course, that's our core features that we want to improve. But other things that we are also currently looking at as well is that, of course, firstly, we want to go multi-chain. As I mentioned, we want to make limit order feature available on the Ethereum network as well, and also for our swaps, for users to be able to make their swaps across different chain and cross chain. And another thing that we're currently exploring is also NFT trading as well. So yeah, I think these are just a few things that are currently in our roadmap.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. I love the fact that even the current markets the way they are, all these projects that are continue building have roadmaps. It's so nice to see. And I think in the future, if I ever have a decentralized exchange related question, I know where to come to. You definitely
Sure.
definitely know your stuff. So that's really cool. I maybe would just have like one last question just for myself, before we move maybe to some community questions or any other questions that are out there. I mean, you guys have been around for a while. From your perspective as a project, what is your opinion of lending markets, DeFi for the Tokenlon token itself? Do you have experience with lending markets? Is it possible already in some places to take loans out on your Tokenlon stack? Maybe on an exchange. I see you guys are listed on KuCoin, I think. So maybe, I don't know, not centralized, but do you have any current decentralized solutions for taking out loans against the loan token? And what is your experience in general with lending for the loan token? That would be my question.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, I think for DeFi lending is definitely, decentralized lending is definitely very important, more important than ever. Like I mentioned, I think the CeFi platforms has actually shown us that we always need to know that where the funds are coming from, and more importantly that our funds are not used for other purposes other than being in our custody, right? So I think definitely solutions like Fringe Finance will definitely add a lot of value to the community. It's definitely something that we need more. And for us right now, it's not something that we are exploring very aggressively to make a loan, a collateral for all the different what you call it, lending platforms. So it's not something that we actively do right now. But of course, when we definitely have some kind of bandwidth, and then and it's something that we think that the community will actually benefit from, then we will definitely look to actively to add loan as a collateral for all these different platforms. But I think definitely want to take this chance also to thank Fringe Finance for adding loan as a collateral for your platform. For us, we have close to about 50,000 loan holders, and definitely right, it's an additional utility for them. And of course, not financial advice on my end, but I think people, loan holders or users who actually stake their loan, who have greater risk tolerance and want to borrow, can now do so on Fringe Finance. So yeah, I think honestly nothing much to add regarding this. For us, we probably won't do a lending program on centralized exchanges, but rather if we were to do it, we'll probably focus more on the decentralized platforms for our users. So yeah, that's kind of my input for this question.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess it's also the whole, the fact that just the option is there. If somebody, you never know when you maybe need to have some cash, maybe have or get some funds. You need an investment somewhere else, or you need to purchase something down the line in the future. So it's kind of always nice just to know you have the option. And the way our lending platform is built, the kind of loans are in a way over collateralized by default. So for example, say you have like $300 worth of loan and you want to take out a $150 loan. It can be, lending is lending, the markets are volatile, but there is some kind of safety features in there by default. So that's always nice to have. but yeah, cool. Thanks for the answer. That was awesome.
Yeah. I want to add to that. Great question, Eric, and awesome answer. Really appreciate your feedback, Jia. And yeah, there are a lot of projects, who fund the operation by the tokens from the treasury, and instead of dumping the tokens and hurting the price action of token, they have an opportunity. If they have an opportunity to take a loan against their treasury and fund the operation, that will definitely be a benefit for such projects. I think we are wrapping up with our questions and coming up to the questions from the community. I have seen a couple of people here raising their hands and asking to ask the question, but I don't see some of them now. So if they want to ask them, they should raise their hands once again. And I'm starting with the ones who has already requested. Miles, I'm inviting you to speak. You can ask your question.
Am I audible? Hello, my question is about Tokenlon RFQ architecture. How does it make a user experience better?
Yeah, I think if I got your question correctly, is how does RFQ make user experience better? So yeah, basically what I as I shared previously, Tokenlon is not just a DEX. We also aggregate volume from different liquidity pools. So how does RFQ make the user experience better? It basically gives you the best quotation or the best pricing for any trade pairs that you basically want to trade. So for example, like let's say if you want to sell 0.01 ETH, right, for USDT, for example, then maybe in other exchanges you will probably get 100 USDT for that. But for Tokenlon, you maybe possibly you could get like 105 USDT. So like it's a better price and better quote for your trade. And how it works is basically whenever you add in your, using the same example, let's say you want to trade 0.01 ETH and you type in 0.01 ETH on our platform. What it does in the back end is that we will tell our AMM, and then we also tell our proactive market makers that this user wants to trade 0.01 ETH. So what quotes can you guys give? And we will basically, out of all these quotations that are put, all this data that are put, we will basically pick the pricing that is the best for the user. So yeah, I think that is how it works. And in short, RFQ will basically give you the best price quotation, and also in addition to that, we also eliminate slippage using RFQ when you trade as well. So yeah, I hope you answered the question.
Yeah, thanks. That makes it pretty clear.
Yeah, I mean, I think also if you just go onto Tokenlon's website and their DApp and have a look around, you can already see how it's nice. Like the user interface is really smooth, really clean. Yeah, it's nice actually. It makes such a difference as well. It's very important that it's looking nice and also working, of course, which we just talked about, all the stuff behind it. But it is a very nice UI, I have to say. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm inviting the next question author, Shubham. Now you can ask a question.
So my question is, so what's the advantage of, and please tell more about your feature, gasless trading.
Yeah, we basically went over all the features there the last hour, discussed everything, and I think the quality there wasn't so great, so we couldn't really understand the question.
Yeah, no worries.
That was really good though, the space, and thanks for coming on. I think definitely. Yeah. What do you think, Konstantin? We definitely keep the communication open between our two communities and kind of educate both our communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we will look for the new angles of partnership with Tokenlon. Thank you very much for attending the space. It was an awesome experience, and I guess the ones who visited knew a lot of the new stuff about Tokenlon, that decentralized exchange. Thank you, Jia. Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah, thanks for the time, guys. Yeah, for sure. We're also happy to host you guys on our Twitter as well. It's something we can, definitely explore in the future. I think DeFi projects should, work more closely together.
They definitely should work more closely together. Yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to list over 100 different assets at the moment on ETH, using Chainlink price feeds with super strong smart contracts, and that's what we're all about, is for everyone, so that DeFi for everyone, that we can, all these communities, DeFi communities, can come together and have access to lending that maybe they didn't have before, or different kind of partnerships. And especially with what's happened the last few weeks, I think DeFi is more important than ever. And it's gonna be it's still early. I know it sounds cliche, it's still early. But
for sure.
It really is, and you can see all the things you've been building. It's testament to that. So really, really excited, and all the best for you guys.
All the best to you guys too. Thanks for having me then. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Bye.